Welcome back, folks. This is Alex, bringing you some locksmith tips to make your home safer and more convenient. Today we're going to be talking about smart locks, why we love them, who should use them, and what problems they face. First on this list is going to be the most obvious, and that's convenience. These things are built and designed to make your life easier on the day-to-day usage of your lock. You don't need to use your key to open your door, and that means you don't have to pay a locksmith to let you into your house if you forgot to grab your keys. With this Schlage keypad deadbolt, you just put in your code, and you are in. Easy as can be, and you're going to see that it's going to automatically lock itself in just a few seconds. That brings us to our next point, which is security. You might think that having more bells and whistles leads to less security and more options for the bad guys to exploit. But we find that there is probably a net gain in security for a surprising reason. One of the most common types of home invasions is if somebody already has a key to your home. Sometimes you have to give your key to a worker or to a friend, and they turn out to be less trustworthy than you thought, or maybe somebody they know got a hold of it, and they might be a little less trustworthy than we thought. Now, instead of giving them a key, you give them a code, which you can then change later whenever you want to. Our third reason you might like a smart lock is one that's great for people who rent out houses or condos or things like that. If you have a tenant or guest who is no longer staying with you, you no longer have to have the whole unit rekeyed. Instead, you just change the code. No more costly visits from people like me. Now you just change the code, and your next guest or tenant is safe and secure. Our fourth reason, and probably the most overlooked, is the remote opening feature in an emergency, or just for convenience. With the Schlage Encode, that's this lock right behind me, and other similar products, you can use your phone to open your door for someone. This is great if you don't plan on giving someone a code or you just want to give them access one time only. This is also great if you need to let in a dog sitter or a caregiver for a one-time visit during a weekend, but also, in an emergency, you can give immediate access right over your phone, which may make all the difference if you have a fire or a flood when you're out of town. And on to our last point why you may want a smart deadbolt. This is a silly one, but groceries. Yep, groceries. This is one of those mundane weekly tasks that ends up being the reason I love my smart lock. You've been there. You've decided to grab all the grocery bags in one trip, and then you've got 10 bags looped around each arm. You look like an absolute superhero, but then you get to the door and, oh no, keys, pocket. Alarm bells start going off in your head and you realize that you're either going to have to fish your keys out of your pocket for a solid 2 minutes, or worse yet, you do the drop of shame. You have to set down all of your groceries, all of your bags clattered to your floor, and your superhero status has gone right out the window. Instead, you can just activate your smart lock from your phone before you even get out of the car. And then you just open the door, arriving triumphantly with your goods. Now, let's talk about some reasons you might not want to get a smart lock. First and foremost, these things run on batteries. Usually they'll tell you when they're getting low, so as long as you're diligent, you shouldn't have any problems. That being said, more and more people are trying to make their car and their house completely keyless. And while this is nice 364 days out of the year, the one night when the lock runs out of batteries, you'll be calling somebody like me to let you in. Now, just keeping a key handy solves this problem, but if you're going to try to go completely keyless, then there's a bit of upkeep involved with these locks, or else you're going to have to pay a locksmith to come let you into your house. And finally, these locks are based around your phone and your internet and your Wi-Fi and things like that. If you're not comfortable dealing with electronics and technology, they can become overwhelming rather quickly. Now, the app is simple and easy to use, but if that's not your thing, then you should stick to the old key and analog knob style. I thank you a whole lot for watching. I hope you learned something, and be sure to like and subscribe for more security tips.